rulings coming in. It's a huge setback for Justice Varma. So what we know at the latest is that the Supreme Court has dismissed the petition filed by Judge Varma. Remember, he had challenged the in-house procedure. The top court has dismissed his plea. The Supreme Court has rejected the plea the then CJI could not have sent the communique to the President, the Prime Minister, when it came to the initiation of the removal procedure. So it's a setback. In fact, very significant, statements also. The IC also saying that Judge Varma's conduct does not inspire confidence. Harish, it's a huge setback coming in. Obviously, Judge Varma's side. Take us through the latest from the Supreme Court.
Here's a big setback for Justice Yashwant Varma. The Supreme Court has dismissed his petition by which he had challenged the in-house procedure whereby he was held indicted by the Supreme Court's probe panel, subsequent to which then Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna had forwarded a communique to the President and Prime Minister to initiate impeachment proceedings against him. Supreme Court has refused to entertain this particular petition, saying that Varma should have come at appropriate time when, if he is questioning the jurisdiction of the panel, he should have come immediately and not appear before the panel. And also, the Supreme Court says we have held the procedure. There is no procedural error in the procedure adopted by the then Chief Justice, except the fact that it was not proper to upload the video of the burning cash and also the photos. Justice Dipankar Datta has said we have held procedure did not violate the fundamental rights of the petitioner. We have held Chief Justice and the committee has scrupulously followed the process except uploading photos and videos. We have said it is not required, but nothing turned on it because you did not challenge it then. A very several significant remarks. Justice Datta has said that in-house procedure is law of the land in place for the past 30 years, and what Supreme Court has done is a recommendation, and it has power to do so. Supreme Court has power to initiate civil or criminal action too, but any complaint will have to get sanction of the CJI. And remember, during the hearing also, the Justice Dipankar Datta bench had said Chief Justice is not a post office. If on misbehavior it is found that demeanor is so serious, Chief Justice can act. Justice Datta has said Parliament has its own power, need not be guided by what Chief Justice or in-house panel said. If inquiry committee is set up, you know who all are its members. Do you think they will get influenced by the in-house reports? This he has said during the hearing, or a video uploaded by on website. The hearing, or a video uploaded by on website by Chief Justice. Also, you did not come when videos uploaded. You could have asked then to get the video removed. And remember, the Supreme Court bench had making pointed observations during the hearing had said, if some politician, any parliamentarian says something, even if it is a minister, it matters little also. We are not going to newspaper reports. That can be called conviction before trial. Remember, Justice Yashwant Varma challenged the in-house procedure, saying that the manner in which he was not given a proper hearing and right to cross-examine witnesses by the in-house committee, violated his principle of natural justice, violated his fundamental rights for proper defense, and also in violation of past precedents, the Chief Justice did not give him an audience after the in-house panel had submitted its report. So a big setback for Justice Yashwant Varma.
It's certainly a supreme setback, a big setback obviously for Judge Varma. And I'm also reading, the observations of the court, very significant, Harish. As you were also pointing out, you stay with us because we have a top legal Swapnil Kothari, senior advocate, who's joining us on the broadcast. Morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. What will you say, sir? Supreme setback obviously for Judge Varma. The Supreme Court not only dismissing his petition but also making a very significant observation, saying that Judge Varma's conduct does not inspire any confidence, also saying that the in-house procedure that is in consonance with the law, the rights of the petitioner were not violated. What happens next, sir?
Well, the next thing that happens is that the impeachment proceedings will continue to happen, and the Supreme Court is absolutely right in dismissing his plea. Because when the committee was constituted, he should have objected it at that point itself, that the committee has been constituted, it is wrong, they haven't heard me correctly, or the Constitution itself is wrong, and before they came out with the report, he should have challenged it there and then itself. Now, after the report has come, it's an afterthought, and you feel, okay, now the report is going against me, so now let me challenge it. So this is something which does not inspire confidence. He, being a High Court judge himself, the Supreme Court is correctly pointing out the observation that you ought to know these things better, and the fact that you are in the dock yourself, you cannot challenge the inquiry committee, which consists not of some laymen, but it consists of very, very eminent legal people. So they are judges also in their own right, and they were possibly, and which they are, I believe, 2 High Court judges and 1 retired Supreme Court Chief Justice, if I remember correctly. But all I know is that all 3 of them were judges. So there is no question about the fact that the judges were appropriate. They had, meaning the committee was properly constituted. The report was, tabled after all the due process was followed. So just because it is against him, you cannot, challenge it. You can challenge it because you have a right. But the fact is that you cannot sustain that plea. We as the Supreme Court do not sustain your plea. We do not sustain your challenge simply because all the due process was followed. And it's clearly because it's gone against you. That's why you are doing this. And being a judge yourself, you should accept it with grace and humility. And in the first place, you should have resigned. That is what the Supreme Court is very indirectly, tacitly telling him. And telling him that you should not be even going ahead with this, because in the past few instances where impeachment proceedings have been initiated against earlier judges, erstwhile errant judges, those people have chosen to resign, and you should, because ultimately the judiciary as an institution is bigger than one individual, which unfortunately Justice Varma does not seem to understand. So, obviously the Supreme Court is trying to come out in a very subtle way and telling him to do so, but he's not getting the picture, which hopefully he may eventually at the end of the day. I hope he does.
Well, absolutely. Supreme Court upholding the legality of the in-house process, also dismissing Judge Varma's plea. It's a big setback for Judge Varma. Thank you, sir, for joining us with your views on the big story. Also, thank you, Harish, for bringing us up to date when it comes to all the updates coming in from the Supreme Court. We are slipping into a short commercial break. News and updates on the other side. Please don't go anywhere.